Hey guys, Zen here, and today we're talking about 3 more substantial updates for Rainbow Six Siege. I'm out here in Canada at the Six Invitational, so my early apologies if the audio isn't as crisp as usual, but that won't stop us from entering a brand new video. And so guys, let's jump in. Now, year 5 of Rainbow Six Siege has officially started. The Six Invitational is ongoing. We're just days away from crowning a new world champion, and Operation Void Edge is going to kick off as a major update to the game. But how did we get here? The story of getting to this point for Siege is just as amazing as the content we're excited for today, and IGN recently released the complete story of how Siege became the juggernaut shooter it is now. Now, how it all happened is very interesting, but what I wanted to highlight here is what seems like a dramatic rethinking and honestly a change of course for the 100 operator goal. For those of you new, Rainbow Six Siege has had an ongoing 10-year 100 operator goal, and it's exactly what you'd expect. Make Siege a game that has a 10-year roadmap, and in that time, achieve 100 individual operators. And just being realistic here, it was very ambitious. And as for shooters, there isn't a single one on the market today that offers 100 individual characters, and certainly not to the level of detail just one new operator of Rainbow Six Siege brings. Now, there was a time where that number, that daunting 100, was a real goal. Like, the devs were serious in trying to reach and get as close as possible to 100 individual operators, but it looks like that's changed recently. One of the lead designers went on to say, the number itself doesn't matter that much, right? It's a symbol. We know that we want to bring a lot more operators because we believe in the value of having lots of operators in the game. There are also other very important things we want to bring into the game that are not included in the symbol of 100 ops that will matter at least as much, if not more. So yeah, something I think a lot of us in the community have been looking forward to is that 100 operator goal. And even if you're not super hardcore or heavily invested in Siege, reaching that 100 individual operator album would be incredible and fascinating to see the devs accomplish. Now for me, I'll be honest, this does hurt a bit, but game health, especially in Rainbow Six Siege, is big time for this game. And over the course of year 4, it's been obvious that Ubisoft would rather a healthy and stable game than one simply rich in content. But what are your thoughts about this? Is it disappointing to hear that Rainbow Six Siege may never see 100 operators? Since the earliest announcement that year 5 would only feature 6 new operators, new content has definitely been a point of interest in the community recently, and so I'm curious if this affects you guys heading into the future. Let us know in a comment below. Next up, Ubisoft released the brand new trailer for Operation Void Edge, and we're introduced to the 2 new operators coming this season to kick off year 5. So I thought we'd check out the trailer here, and for those who have already seen it, well, we'll enjoy it once more.
Everyone's running from something. But the darkness within can't be vanquished by distance. It can only be tempered by finding something to run towards. And the promising light of new horizons.
Alright, so that's our first look at the 2 new operators and possibly a new locale in Rainbow Six Siege. So of course, we're looking at Oryx and Yana. If you've spent any time here on the channel, you'll know these names well, and man, does this trailer ask more questions than it actually answers. For starters, Oryx is actually barreling through walls head first, and it was my early speculation that he'd have a way to protect himself as he did this, but in looking through this, it really doesn't look like he does at all. Toward the end of his scene, he seems to be staring off looking at Fortress, the home of my main, Kaid, in one of the maps recently pulled from Ranked. Now, a lot of people in the community have been theorizing that this means a rework to Fortress is coming, and as exciting as that would be, I think there are many other maps that have priority in reworks over Fortress, like Chalet and Skyscraper, for example. Honestly, Fortress is the map I miss most, and not just because my main is king and overseer of it, but because it was one of those rare maps that each objective could be made viable if you played correctly, and also it was just purely beautiful. I mean, what else is there to say? Another theory is that Oryx also knows Fortress as his home, and that there could be a first for Rainbow Six Siege, where we have one operator maybe hunting down another for the sake of power. Kaid is El Fassi, or the leading commander over the fortress, and so maybe Oryx wants a piece of that. The roster for Team Rainbow is getting thick, and I could imagine not everyone is super friendly, and so it could be possible Oryx isn't the most inviting of gentlemen. Yana, on the other hand, has her head in space. I get this Nok vibe with this operator, almost ethereal in her design, but it's the space theme that's the most interesting bit here. Seriously, is Rainbow Six Siege headed to space? Someone left a comment recently and said that there is actually a space command that protects space stations from foreign attacks, and so it's possible she's from some kind of outer space CTU. Now, we also see the first tease of her gadget as well, and from the leaks we know that she may have some kind of hologram, but at least here she doesn't look like she's sending out any form of a hologram. I haven't really heard anyone else say much about this, but she is literally a human being standing out in the open on another planet or moon looking back at Earth, and as obvious as it may seem, humans can't stand on planets without spacesuits, so exactly how she is doing this is a mystery to me, and hopefully many of you. She does have this yellow glow over her at the end there, and so maybe it's some kind of protective layer that enables her to do this, but guys, yeah, that's the trailer and my general thoughts about it. I will admit that from our first look here, I was probably wrong. I'd speculated that Oryx might have some kind of bubble shield to protect his head from bashing through walls, but it doesn't look like that's the case at all. This man gets dirty with it and just spearheads through what looks like brick walls, and so I cannot wait to see how this plays out in game. Finally guys, for our third update, I wanted to show you guys around the 6 Invitational and bring you along for the event. I know there are many of you who couldn't make it, but that shouldn't stop you from experiencing the biggest Siege event all year. And hey, the event space at Place Bell always has a few exciting things to check out, and so let's do that. So yeah guys, I'm no director, but let me know how you feel about the camera work. Now to top this video off properly, we have these little guys. This is wave 4 of the highly adored 6 collection chibis, and you'll get access to Glaz, Finka, Blitz, and Dokkaebi, as well as a special edition Golden Glaz if you grab up the whole set. These are usually very limited, so if you're a fan, you need to get your hands on them as soon as possible. And when I finally get my hands on them, I'll open up the box and show you what's inside. But that's everything guys. 3 updates, the new operator trailer, and a quick peek at the 6 Invitational. I hope you enjoy it. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think 100 operators is even still possible for Siege? And also, what season did you begin playing? Leave it all in a comment down below. If you guys did enjoy this video, please drop a like and subscribe with notifications if you're new. With that being said, it's been Zen. Hey, I'm out.